Well, hello there, friends, and welcome to the Monday Show 44. I'm your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend Roots. Roots, I'll tell you, man, this money is burning a hole in my pocket. Have you been watching Sebastian's stream?
I have not actually. I'm assuming you're talking about the money from your Rift S.
That is correct. I sold my Rift S with the intention of having money at the ready whenever the next big headset reaches out and grabs me. And now Sebastian has his hands on an actual HP Reverb G2, and he hasn't done a whole lot of content yet, but he did put out a couple of very short through the lens videos. And man, I gotta say, it looks clean, Roots. It looks really clean.
Yeah, it's always good. Actually, I know I'm gonna have to check that out. But I wonder what all the other stuff that's gonna be is good. The FOV and the controllers is the big question, right? What's the tracking like? So
It's going to be right. Well, the tracking is the question, right? Because they have gone from a two camera setup to a four camera setup. The FOV is going to be just a normal standard FOV, but some of the other questions, like the sweet spot, which was rather small on the Gen One Reverb, he says it's better now. It's a lot better, and the colors. Another question coming in. He says the colors look absolutely amazing. And you can tell from the pictures. I mean, you can't see a pixel, dude. It's clean.
so you are considering getting it then? Like or
I am I'm considering pre-ordering one. But just as soon as I start having thoughts like this, Oculus steps up and reminds everyone, "Hey, we're working over here too," because they actually released some information about their latest prototype today. And what they've done is they've found a way to light LCD screens without a backlight. And the way it works is they put this thin film on it, and then they hit it with a laser. And what's specifically awesome about it is it significantly shrinks, in theory, the size of the headset. So they have a prototype now, dude, and it just looks like a pair of sunglasses. And with that said, it's an early prototype. It's monochrome, meaning it's only green, but it works, and it's got a decent field of view, and it's a pair of friggin' sunglasses, man.
wow, I'll tell you what. I played some Sea of Thieves last night. I played probably half of it in virtual desktop, and it was amazing. And then it got to a point I told Jim Hall, I said, I got to get out of this thing. It's too hot. Like, VR has its limitations heat wise, and then bulky wise. So if you can get rid of both of those and just have some like a cool pair of sunglasses on, I think that's really good.
Yeah, man, it used to be pretty tough until I put an air conditioner specifically in this room. It was tough to play at any time rather than in the middle of the night. But now, this year, we have upgraded the situation here, and it's much more comfortable now.
Nice. Well, Ray Pope says he just bought the Reverb a week before they announced the Reverb 2. Reverb 2.
Oh
Yeah.
man, you should have returned it like immediately, Ray. Like I would have done it like that day, I think.
Yeah. Well, it depends. You got to wait for a while, right? When are we going to see these Reverbs 2s?
Fall. So it'd probably be a few months. Now I'm not sure how these pre-orders go. Sometimes you pre-order something and they charge you immediately for it. Other times you pre-order something and they don't charge you until they ship it. Does anyone know what the deal is with these G2s? If I pre-order one right now, is it going to charge me, or is it just going to put my name in the hat and I can cancel it at any time?
Yeah, it's the better way. I like that way a lot better, you know?
Yeah, if that's the case, it makes it a lot easier of a decision. If I can just turn around and change my mind tomorrow, um, then it's a no-brainer. I'll go ahead and get in line, and then we'll decide when the time comes whether or not we actually want it. But I'm worried, Roots. I'm worried that I'm going to end up buying this thing, and then I really think that Sony's going to put a new headset out. If not by the end of the year, by spring. I just have a feeling in my gut that's what they're doing. I have a feeling that that's why they're being so hush hush about PlayStation VR right now. I think that they have big announcements coming for PSVR, and I'm afraid to throw that money down now and then turn around a month from now and Sony does a big giant VR showcase.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I've said that from. I remember when people were saying that was not going to happen. There's absolutely not going to be a new hardware refresh, even a 1.5 this soon. But they just have to. And what do you think about Xbox, man? I think we were kind of talking about it a little bit on the side that again about the rumors back in the day about them or not merging, but working with Oculus. And I still think that's going to happen.
Yeah, well, I think you and I are like the two people who still haven't given up on that idea. We all kind of we talked about it on the show back when the rumors first dropped, and some people were on board and others weren't. We made the case for it, and I think we made a pretty convincing case for it. But as soon as Phil, what's his name?
Spencer.
Spencer, yeah. As soon as he came out and and said that he had no interest in VR at all, people just took him at his word and dropped it. And he doesn't have the best track record of being honest about VR because if you'll remember back when Xbox One was launching, a big part of their pitch to people selling that machine was just how awesome the VR was going to be on it. And they said it many times on the E3 floor and in other presentations. They kept talking about this awesome Xbox VR that was coming. And then when the thing launched, they didn't do it. So as far as I'm concerned, that guy has zero credibility. And if he says that if he's not that he doesn't want to support VR, I think history has shown us that we probably should believe that he actually is.
Yeah, plus there is an advantage to keeping Sony in the dark to what they're planning on doing, especially if you want them to just kind of chill and relax and think they're the only ones that have the whole market, and all of a sudden Xbox comes out and Hellblade Senua sacrifices your ass, too.
Yeah, man. I don't want to rehash the whole thing, but I'm not saying that I think it's going to happen, but I'm saying that I very much think that it still could because it makes too much sense. Microsoft's main console competitor is Sony, the PlayStation, and Oculus's main headset VR competitor is PlayStation VR. So they have a common competitor, and it would really open up the Oculus market big time if they could get into the console VR business. And we all know that Xbox Series X is a monster of a machine. It is an absolute beast, and it would have absolutely no problem running any of today's VR.
Plus, they've already partnered before with the original CV1, the controllers and such. And there's a reason because the mixed reality headsets suck. Factory Life, that's why. And okay, this is the biggest reason, Factory Life, that Wes and I have said the reason why Oculus needs to be the partner, because the only way for Xbox to compete with Sony, because Sony's already got this huge backlog of games and exclusives in VR, whereas Xbox has jack shit. Where if Oculus were to go in there, not only does Oculus benefit by going into the console business, or at least reaching that whole new audience, like Wes said, but Xbox from day one has, Stormland, and well, I guess they wouldn't have Stormland because Sony's got it, huh? But they have all the other ones that Oculus owns. And,
yeah, I think that they would be able to. What I honestly think would happen is that they would end up just running the Oculus store on the Xbox. So, yeah, I think Stormland would be included in that, and
wow, that'd be weird, huh?
Yeah, it makes total sense. It makes Xbox, if they partner with Oculus, they don't have to worry about getting developers to support their device. The WMR support is iffy. It's supported through Steam VR a little bit, but if you bring Oculus into the fold, you bring all of those awesome exclusives with them. Not to mention the fact that one of the big things that you're not just bringing in Rift S, right? You're bringing in Oculus Quest Link as well, and there's a lot of headsets already out there. So it's a good way for Microsoft to catch up, with PSVR, if they're bringing in the Oculus platform day one and all those players that come with it.
That's a good point. And Oculus benefits because not everybody has a gaming computer, and so they have all those Xboxes that they could hook right up to, right?
That's exactly right. So yeah, it makes sense on a lot of different levels, and only time will tell. But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all if next month during the big Xbox show they actually reveal something like this.
Yeah, true.
All right. Chat is filling out nicely. Spry guy in the house. Macon artist. How's it going, buddy? Mamefan. Mamefan says, don't be like Anthony and say things suck without trying them. That's a good point. Uh, Onakazi. Sion, what's up, buddy? Factory Life. Hussein X. Slay Buddy says, no hat, West, like a boss. Hey, man, the people asked for it. And if I'm anything, I'm a man of the people. They wanted to see the helmet. Well, here it is, friends, in all of its glory. This is about 4 months of Weasel skipping the barber.
Yeah, see, Ray Pope says 95% of the games aren't compatible with the controllers. So for the mixed reality headset. So I mean, there's issues. It is good. I'm not saying it's not a good headset. I'm just saying that it has its issues. And you're right, Mamefan. I shouldn't say it sucks because I haven't tried it, but from what people say, it's not as equal of an experience to the Rift experience, and that's what I meant. Plus the fact that they have to have that library. It has to. That's the only way to have that equal footing with Sony.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest downside with WMR, even more so than the tracking, is the support from developers. Developers never really got on board with WMR, and there were some decent Gen 1 headsets. I mean, the Samsung Odyssey, obviously a really good one, but there were some other ones that were decent as well. But it never really quite caught on, and me personally, I never could really, I never had enough confidence to invest the money in it, even when they went on sale, just because of the lack of developer support.
Yeah, I mean, going to Rift S was spotty for me. Going to inside out tracking, but it's so good. But I don't think anything less than the Rift S, or I guess the Quest, from what you said, which is a little bit less than Rift, but still really good. It would just bother me. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's another thing I've got to consider, right? If I'm thinking about getting this new headset, you would think, in collaboration with Valve, that might carry a little bit of weight, and maybe there would be some better support for it. But it is still WMR, at the end of the day. So
True.
I forgot I was going to make another point about it, but as fast as it came, it left. So
that's all right. That was a completely off the cuff thing there. So.
Well, yeah, I guess we need to get around to it. It is time for us to do what we do this month and every month, and that is the game of the month. And normally we start the show off talking about what we've been playing. But Roots, all I've been playing is Phantom Covert Ops, and we kind of covered that at length yesterday. And if you missed our talk about Phantom Covert Ops, we're going to talk a little bit more about it here in a few minutes. But I mean, what did we do, 20 or 30 minutes on it yesterday?
Yeah, it was a pretty lengthy conversation. And the only other game I've been playing was Sea of Thieves, like I said, in virtual desktop. But we did have some crazy deaths, but I won't go into that here on the show. But man, that game's good.
Yeah, so yeah, that's about it for me. Phantom Covert Ops and the Museum of Other Realities. That's pretty much what has been taking my time. I mean, unless you guys want to hear me talk some more about Headmaster, which I tend to play fairly regularly. But I think we've, again, covered that at length already.
Yeah.
I will say this, it was questionable for me anyway, after I switched to Oculus Link, whether or not the 6-stop head tracking would be 1-to-1 enough to do as well as I like to do in Headmaster. You know, I like to get every star and score 100 on every exam. I've been doing it, man. I'm about halfway through the game now, and I'm at 100%. I've gotten everything that you can get.
So it's 1-to-1.
1-to-1. Yeah. I mean, I think since I've started using Link, I could probably count on one hand the amount of times that it's kind of glitched a little bit. But again, I mean, that's kind of common for anything. Any kind of electronics is going to peter out every now and then.
I'll tell you what, the Rift and the Rift S is the USB swapperoo, man. It's constant. It's just you're always going to be pulling that shit out in and out, man. I tell you.
It's pretty much the same thing with the Link. Every now and then, I wouldn't say it's every day. Maybe every 3 or 4 days, I'll have to restart not only my computer but the headset as well. But after that, it straightens right up.
Yeah, Hussein X says he just came out of the Museum of Other Realities. Spent about 2 hours in there with the offline stuff. Actually, there's been a lot of people in there. Spry Guy was in there earlier. I need to go into it. I still haven't gone in yet. So to the new stuff.
Well, listen, Hussein. There's a big exhibit going on right now for the Cannes Film Festival, and that's what you want to. That's what you want to be focusing on because it's only around for about 5 more days, and you only get that through DLC. So you have to scroll down on Steam VR, scroll down, and you'll see 4 separate DLC packs that are available right now. Go ahead and make sure you've got room on your hard drive. You're probably going to need about 70 or 80 gigabytes. But go ahead and download that stuff, and it's going to blow you away, I promise.
I think I need to do it, Wes, because I'm feeling like I'm gonna miss it, and I still have 5 days.
Yeah, it's amazing, dude. It's as good as the regular museum is. It's that good or better. I mean, it's really good.
All right, I'm going in tonight. You just convinced me.
Yeah. Delirium Drew in the house. What's up, buddy? Spry Guy, Phil Yarn. What's up, Hussein X, Void Cat. Looks like the boys are here. The whole crew is in the chat, and I guess it's time to get started on this conversation for Game of the Month of June. And Roots, you know, I came into writing this format today, thinking that I already knew what was going to be the Game of the Month. And as I took a look back at some of the games that came out this month, if you break it down platform to platform, we don't have any easy decisions this month. We have a conversation that we need to have right now, and I'd like the good folks in chat to help us out here because I'm stuck, man. I don't know what I'm going to pick for any of this, to be honest, right now.
Well, I was gonna say we do have a good easy choice for PlayStation.
Right.
I did pull all the videos because like I've never heard of any of them. Of course I don't know, man. But go ahead.
Okay. So I feel a little weird, right? Because I was talking yesterday on the show about how PlayStation VR is on fire right now. And honestly, a lot of what I was talking about was off the strength of what they did in May and the announcements that they've had for July. But as I look back at PSVR over the month of June, dude, it's so bad. It's so bad. Like it's so bad in June that I'm going ahead and call it now. And you tell me if you think I'm wrong. I think that we can't pick a game of the month this month. I mean, there's nothing, like literally nothing.
Well, this first one here, Good Dog, made me wonder. Yeah, I was looking at this list. I thought for a second there somehow you slipped in some kind of a Viveport list, and I didn't know about it because like I was like you're the dog. Like I don't know, man. It just seems weird. You said you saw some people's gameplays or and people didn't respond mostly well to any of these games, right?
Well, I didn't watch it for all of them. I haven't seen anything on this game. This is literally everything that came out for PSVR. This list that I gave you here. This is all of it.
Okay. Well, I mean, can you attack people or at least I mark somebody's leg or something? That would be fun, I think.
Well, that's the thing. I know absolutely nothing about this game. Nothing at all. And that's kind of the reason why I can't really pick a game of the month. The games that I do know something about got pretty poor reviews, and the other games I don't know anything about. So
Okay. Well, the
maybe
next. Oh, go ahead.
maybe we could have some PlayStation guys speak up in the chat if they feel like any of this stuff is good. And really, I think one vote would be enough to name a PSVR game of the month. But I'm not sure we're going to get one, Rich.
Yeah, let us know what you think. If you've played Good Dog, look, he's winking. You can be a good or a bad dog. That's so cool. Or not. But the next one, I was thinking of Ghost. You
Yeah.
know, like with Patrick Swayze, because like who doesn't want to create their own pottery, and let's create pottery VR. Um, Again, I was blown away. I didn't even know this existed. I could be making stuff right now.
Hey, who knows? Maybe one day your creations could end up in the Museum of Other Realities.
Yeah, maybe that's where this has started, right? You make something, you stick it in there. I guess you get to bake it and everything. I don't know. I guess on some level that might be interesting, but I don't know. It's weird.
Roy Schwartz says, demo of the month, Iron Man. You know, I was thinking about naming the Iron Man demo as the PlayStation VR game of the month, but that was May too. That was also in May. So we can't do that, bro.
Yeah, true. Delirium Drew. The museum does cost 20, but it's free right now for the rest of the week as long as the festival is going on. I think Wes said 5 more days. So you can download the museum from Steam and the DLC for free. You can check it out all you want. If you were to wait after the 5 days, you pay the $20 for the game, and then everything in it is free. It's all one included thing. And it seems like they're going to be adding extra stuff as time goes by. So I think it was Spry Guy said, or maybe it was Radio Runt said they're buying it anyway, even on top of the freebie. And I'm thinking the same thing. But if you have Viveport, go to Viveport. You can get it for free as well. And the way they word it, it sounds like you may get to keep it after the festival's done. So
Yeah, we won't know until next week, but it certainly looks like on Viveport it's just free to keep. I mean, it's regularly a an Infinity title anyway, but to get it free this week, you have to check out. You have to literally put it in your shopping cart and check out like a PlayStation Plus game. So yeah, I think it's absolutely free to keep on Viveport, but regardless of any of that, it's free for the next 5 days on Steam. And even if you did have to pay the $20, I mean, it's worth it. It's a high quality experience.
oh, Mamefan, I think you're right. If they did the co-op for this, you'd have people, YouTubers recreating it. You could have Cass and Sherry. They could recreate the ghost scene. That'd be pretty cool. Pretty interesting.
Uh, I'd give that video a thumbs up.
Yeah, me too. So
All right, so what's next on the next one? Actually, is something that I am familiar with, but I've never went in and tried it out on PC because the reviews are just not good, and everybody I talk to says it's not very good.
yeah, well, and you probably watched. Maybe this is one of the ones you watched. People, is probably PlayStation VR without Pearl, correct? I mean, I know that that's what, just to give them credit, that's what video I'm using their footage here from whatever video they had, but I there's not much out there on this game, and I don't know. I mean, I love roller coasters. What was it that they said they didn't like about this? I know they at one point they show it up against blood. What is it? Rush of Blood, right? See,
Yeah, they said there's no sense of speed in it or movement whatsoever. That let me think. The sound's not very good. Basically, it's just not very good at all.
well, seeing the problem with PlayStation VR players is they have Rush of Blood. They know what a good coaster is. Like they knocked it out of the park from like day one on the PlayStation VR. I still feel like mostly the PC doesn't have that yet. I'm hoping that new one from Quest, that shooter one, is going to be good. So
Yeah, well, that's kind of what Brian Paul said during their review of Coaster. Is that exactly that what you just said? Is that PlayStation VR uh, players know what a good coaster is because of games like Rush of Blood, because of Roller Coaster Legends um, Part 2. So yeah, coasters just this is something that's been on PC for a long time. You can generally pick it up for like $3 or something, but I've never bothered with it, and that should tell you all you need to know right there. Because I am a coaster guy. I like coasters in real life, and I would love for there to be great coasters.
Yeah, look
In
at this, man. Wouldn't it be cool to have a really cool, badass roller coaster in a scene like this where you feel like you really are shrunk, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids size, you know?
Well, that was pretty much the only compliment that Brian gave the game, was that the environments were highly detailed and crisp. They weren't blurry or anything.
Okay.
Everything looked good. It just wasn't fun.
Mm. Well, and you're not shooting stuff. I want to shoot stuff, Wes, if I'm on a roller coaster. I think the
That
Rush of Blood was so good.
Yeah, man, I really hope we get a sequel to that. I think everybody wants that. I think it's pretty unanimous.
Yeah.
Well, all except for one, right? Mamefan. Anyway, what's next? Oh yeah, I know what's next. This is another one I watched probably about an hour of a playthrough the other day.
What is Pancake House?
Yeah, Pancake
Okay.
House.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know what Pancake House is, this is coming to PC VR. It's coming to Steam VR, but it released on PlayStation first, and I thought that this actually looked fairly fun. It
Yeah.
looked okay, but again, Brian Paul not impressed. Says there's a lot of jank and that it's just not very good.
Yeah, maybe they'll fix it. Delirium Drew says the roller coaster's a horrible joke. Environments are static photos that don't change as you move around the track.
Right, right. So there you go. Just more more evidence to support what we already believe. Pancake House. It again, it looks pretty good. I mean, relatively, it's a relative term. My big problem with this is I feel like this would be a great $10 to $15 game. This is $30, Roots.
Are you kidding me? This is the same price as Phantom Covert Op. That's
Yeah,
insane, dude.
yeah. You can spend $32 right now on the PlayStation Store and pick up The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners.
Yeah, that's way too high. I agree. I don't know. I think it's maybe a $20 game. I mean, I haven't played it, but from what you've said, and hopefully, I mean, it looks like it could be fun, right?
Yeah, I thought it looked fun. I thought it looked okay. Anyway, it's got a bit of a weird UI, the way that they let you select your weapons and reload and stuff. But yeah, it looked okay.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, this would probably be the one I pick for game of the month. But again, I haven't played any of these, and I haven't heard a good review on any of them, so
Okay.
it's kind of hard. Again, unless somebody wants to step up and say I played that game and it's good, I don't feel comfortable naming any of these as the game of the month.
Well,
And
so far the only comment we've got on any of these games from anybody that's played them is bad. So
yeah, right. All right. So we had one more release on PlayStation VR, and that one was Party Pumper. And again, this kind of goes back to what you said to lead in. This looks like a Viport title, doesn't it?
yeah, it's not good, man. And I don't know. It just doesn't look like it'd be anything that would be that spectacular, but I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe, but exactly, I wouldn't know. So last call, guys. If any of you have anything to say about any of these, why they should be the PSVR game of the month, or that there should even be a PSVR game of the month, speak now or forever hold your peace, because I just don't think that I can be honest and pick any of these.
I like Mamefans co-op pottery ghost
Yeah.
themed YouTube thing. That sounds good to me.
Let's create Pottery VR and get
Yeah.
its name put into the hat for PSVR Game of the Year.
Yeah. What's up, Ray? Delator just came in.
Hey, buddy, how's it going? Thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming by. All right, so I think that it's pretty. I think the silence is deafening, Roots. I think that that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, PlayStation VR gets no game of the month for June. Maybe, I guess, by the end of the year, we'll know a little bit more. Maybe we've played a couple. Maybe something could slide in there. But I doubt it. So,
Yeah, I doubt it as well, and it's okay. Like I said, PSVR had a bang in May, and right, Drew. See, I went through all of them, dude. I went through all of them, and they were all in May. All the good titles were in May, and absolutely nothing in June.
Factory Life again says Iron Man demo.
Yeah, I'm going to double check that, but I'm fairly sure that Iron Man demo came out in May as well. But I'm going to check it right now to make sure I'm not just mistaken.
Because
But yeah,
it would classify to some extent, right? It has mini games.
Yeah, well, I mean that was what I was going to call. I was going to call the Iron Man demo the game of the month this month. That was my plan because I didn't have anything better, and it is fun and it is replayable. So,
Delirium Drew says it was last month for sure. Iron Man Contagion DLC. Yeah, no.
All right. Well, if he says it's last month for sure, I'm just going to take his word for it. I already checked it. I already know anyway. So, yeah. So Contagion DLC. Hey, man, Contagion. I know that's the people like to laugh about it, but they've been doing a lot of work on that game, and it's pretty much in a finished state now. Not only on PC but on PlayStation VR as well. So, I think that the only thing that you can really say bad about Contagion now is that Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is a thing. So
an Onslaught's soon to be a thing.
Right. So I feel like if it were a year ago and Contagion were in the state that it is right now, that people would have a very different opinion about it.
Oh yeah, because when I tried that demo, man, I was so psyched, and then I got it day one, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" Like it was so broke, and I still have that memory in my mind. I need to go back in and get it out of there, see what it's actually like now.
Onakazi says that we should have a standing rule that Polybius gets to win all of the unclaimed months. I'm 100% down with that.
It is that good. So.
It is absolutely that good. I mean, I would say that it's overall among all platforms, it's at the very least in my top 20 VR games. I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm a con artist, but Firewall always gets new DLC. It's just, yeah,
I don't know. I have to bring up Good Dog again. You tell me, that's it looks good.
All right, let's move on. I love PSVR too much to keep kicking it while it's down. PSVR, we're not done talking about PSVR because we're going to end the show as we always do by looking forward to the next month and what we know is coming in July, and the prospects are a little bit better in July for PlayStation VR.
Cool.
Anyway, let's talk about some platforms that actually had some good games released for them this month. And let's talk about Oculus Quest for a minute. Again, like I said at the top of the show, I kind of felt like I knew which title was going to be the Oculus Quest game of the month, but then I looked at what came out. And it's not that easy, huh?
No, I had the same conundrum. I was looking at it and I was like, damn, dude, like there's some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, let's go ahead and just start off with Premium Bowling, which was released on June 4th, 2020 from developer Sedeta for $20. And Roots, I really wish I could say from experience that I know that this is as great as it probably is. But I have not played this one. I did try to get a key, not only for Quest, but for Steam, and no reply, so we're going to have to throw down the 20 if we want to try this one out.
Or maybe they'll send it to us in a month and out of the blue, like sometimes these devs do, a little late, right?
So it's possible. But see, and I don't care to pay for it, honestly. But my whole thing with this is I want to play multiplayer. That's the whole reason that I want to to play this game is I want to play it with friends. So if everybody wants to go in and throw $20 down and everybody buy it, count me in.
Is it
But
multiplayer, right?
it is. It
Dude,
absolutely is.
let me ask you this, because it's premium, so they should have everything, right? Is there moonlight bowling?
I have no idea, but you know what? It might even be on sale on Steam right now. I didn't even check.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Moonlight bowling, and like everybody's drinking a pitcher, you know?
Hey, that you're making nothing but sense to me right
Yeah.
now, brother. This sounds great.
Yeah, yeah.
But we're always looking for stuff to do as a group, and you know, bowling's something that in real life you always do as a group, right? Nobody goes bowling by themselves. The only thing we'd be missing is the ugly shoes, and I feel like we could work around that.
Yeah, I got some ugly shoes, and now nobody can see them though when you're playing in VR. I wonder if that's a thing in this game. That'd be pretty cool, right? They don't look like they're that ugly on their shoes, but and what have you ever been to a bowling alley where people line up and down it? Like, what if people threw it off to the side and hit somebody by accident? I did look it up while you were talking. It is on sale, 25% off, $15 on Steam at the moment. So now would be
There's
the
a
time
demo
to pick it
too,
up.
right?
I just closed it. I think there is a demo. Let me check.
Yes, someone said that. Someone said that there was a demo to it.
Okay. But yeah, $15. That's a really good deal. 25% off, right?
Yeah, and by all accounts, people who have played this say it's good. I mean, it looks good. So yeah, I think I would have to. Well, man, it's tough. I wonder if it's cross-platform. Like, can Quest players play with Steam players, or is it platform exclusive? That's another big question I have.
Onakazi says yes, there is a demo. So he just stole my thunder. I was just about to tell you that. So, but yeah,
Really,
go ahead.
because I feel like being tetherless with a game like this could make a difference. So you might want to pick up the Quest version, but then again, there's the extra graphical fidelity that you get with your PC. So who knows? Who knows?
I do wonder, like you said, is it cross-play or whatever between all the platforms? We should try it sometime with the. I don't know why. I'm going to go and at least check out the demo. I will commit to that and see what it feels like, because I don't know if it would feel weird to not have the weight of the ball, because that's part of the throw, right? So.
Yep. Yeah, that is. I did. Well, I think it, like anything, you'll get used to it. Like, like a rifle or anything else that you handle in VR, you kind of get used to the weightlessness of it. So, or I guess it probably wouldn't be that hard to create like a custom thing to give your controller some weight, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess everybody do that. Break your something. Delirium Drew says Silicon Rising. Didn't we try that game? I think we played that at one point.
We haven't played it. It is in our library. Silicon Rising is a decent looking cyberpunk game that had some control issues when it first released. I got to imagine that they've been patched out by now. That it probably plays a lot better now than it did at launch, because I know Alex, for one, said he liked it. So
I may have tried it because it sounds really familiar to me, but yeah, I don't remember it having controller issues. But then again, I don't know. I just know that it sounds more familiar than me just hearing about it. I think I may have tried it when Alex was saying how much he loved it. So
yeah, when it came out, I mean, PD was critical of it, if that tells you anything about it.
Yeah, that does tell me a lot. Ray Pope says this. He'd be afraid that this premium bowling would screw up his real bowling game in real life, and that's a very good point, because if you really are competitive and you're used to the weight, this would totally change everything.
Yeah, that's true. Do people still do that? Are bowling alleys still a thing in this world?
Yeah, there's still a thing. Actually, I actually treat one of them for pest control. So I don't know about now with the we can't say the name, but
yeah. Anyway, I think this looks like a good title, and I felt like it was solid enough and had good enough reviews to be put on the list.
Yeah.
With that said, Trover Saves the Universe from Squanch Games is one of the best games that I've ever played. Roots, I said really that all I'd been playing was Headmaster and Phantom Covert Ops and Museum of Other Realities this week, but that's not true. I did jump into Trevor Saves the Universe for a while just because because I wanted to progress in it and play it a little bit more, and I
Mm.
had a blast like I always do.
You didn't beat it?
No, no, I'm in the level with the zoo that's run by
Ah,
the ex-roommate.
that's so
And
weird, huh?
yeah, everything's weird about it, dude. It's disgusting. Flesh
Yeah.
World. That's where I'm at. Flesh World.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And by all accounts, the Oculus Quest version is pretty much one to one, amazingly. Uh, PD, again, raved about the Quest port of Trover Saves the Universe. And, you know it, I know it, everyone knows it. This is one of the very best platformers in VR, comedy aside, just from a gameplay standpoint. This is a great game.
Yeah, it's really good.
My wife constantly gives me shit for not finishing this game because she beat it like immediately. She ran through this game like Mamefan.
Wow, dude. Yeah, it took me a while, but I did beat it too. I need to go back for the DLC.
But Ray Delator says that game was so funny. It's just the way that they used profanity in it that is just hilarious. I mean, that that the big bad at the very beginning of the game is just ha ha ha, you dumb son of a bitch, and you start laughing at that point. And if you're like me, you don't stop throughout the whole thing.
I thought that just the beginning when the TV started, like, it starts pestering you kind of to do certain things. That was pretty funny, pretty unique.
Yeah, it had that like soap opera where they're telling you how to do the controls.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah, and the enemies, the way they constantly talk shit the whole time you're fighting them, and then even after you kill them, that they have a few more things to say before they die.
oh, there's another
Like
game you need to beat more than Trover. Main fan says.
there's another game I need to beat more than Trover. Well, what are you talking about? Resident Evil? Is that
Oh
what he's
yeah,
talking about?
probably. That would be my
Yeah,
guess.
I've got another installment ready to go, main fan. I'll be uploading that probably in a couple of days. I'll upload that to the Weasel channel. Link is in the description. For those of you who don't know, now you know.
Oh, cool. Premium bowling is cross play between Steam and Oculus.
Yeah, I have like it is crossplay. So now that makes things more that makes things a little more interesting, right? Now I have to debate which one I want to buy.
Yeah, well, that
Um,
is a good debate, but I don't know. You probably lean more towards Oculus Quest, I would think, right?
if there's a version on the Rift store, then it's a no-brainer. That's like a cross-buy deal. Then yeah, but I don't know. I might want the pretty one, Roots.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, so yeah, and to what Mainfan was saying, that dude, there's a lot of other games I need to beat, like Trevor. Like I have a whole list of games that I'm at the end of. Half-Life Alex, for example. I'm in chapter 10 of Half-Life Alex, and just sitting, just waiting to get in there and polish it off. And there's all this, deal or
You should do
content.
it because you're probably like 30. I was like 30 minutes away from beating it and didn't even know it for a while.
Well, I stopped. I played up till 10 and I stopped because I wanted to record it and share it.
Mm.
As my reaction to this ending that everybody is so hyped on.
Oh,
Everybody.
yeah. I want to see your reaction because my reaction was cool. And
I mean,
everyone like flipped their shit, man. And I just, I don't know.
there have been some recent pretty strong developments. A big shift in the story in late in chapter 9.
Mm.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone, so we're kind of seeing where it's headed now, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, Trevor Saves the Universe, again, one of VR's best, and certainly one of the best on Oculus Quest in the month of June. And that brings us to the elephant in the room, Roots. The game of the week, for sure. Pretty much all I've played this week in terms of time. Phantom Covert Ops, man, it's addictive, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's really good. So polished and just wanted to get further and see more of the story is where I'm at.
So Mamefan says his reaction was, "That's it." People are like raving over that thing, man. I guess you might be like Roots and I, and not like the biggest Half-Life fans in the world, like everyone else is.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, it's not that it wasn't good. It's just I've never played through any of the series, so none of it really meant that much. And I mean, everybody's explained it, and I understand exactly why everybody's flipped their lid over it. But for me, it was just another ending. It was good. It was a really good ending, but
Yeah, Hussein X says, I took my time with Alex, 30 hours for the first playthrough. So Hussein X plays like I do. I think uh, I'm probably around 20 hours in it and starting chapter 10.
main fan said he played through all the games, Half-Life games, and he
Well,
still thought it.
is he like ape shit fanboy like everyone else is though? That's the question.
He must not be, because he said his reaction was, "That's it."
Right, right.
Yeah.
Anyway, Phantom Covert Ops. Roots, I hate to, it kind of sucks that it's so recent that this game was released because I feel like I have recency bias toward it. I'm having a blast playing this game right now. And it's just by sheer dumb luck that I played Trevor this last week too. But I've played Phantom Covert Ops a lot more. And when I sit around thinking about uh, what I want to play when I get back into VR. This week. It's been Phantom Covert Ops all the way, and I love the not only the story element to it, but I love the point system and the leaderboards as well. All of the unlockable stuff. Just a ton of stuff to like about this game.
What if both games dropped at the same time and you'd never played through either, and you started both playing through both, and then you were thinking about going to play a game? Which game do you perceive? Because you obviously you have to guess on it, because you know it's not real.
And yeah, that's what I'm trying to decide here, Roots. And there is one thing that we do have to factor in here as well, and that is that we're talking about Oculus Quest. And I've had one session on the Oculus Quest, and the rest of my gameplay has been on PC. So the Phantom Covert Ops version that is on the Oculus Quest, while the gameplay is one to one between the two, there are some pretty big visual differences in the two. So it isn't the same thing, and we need to keep that in mind.
That's true. That's very true.
So what say you, Roots? Phantom Covert Ops or Trover Saves the Universe? And what say you, chat?
Oh yeah.
How
Let's
about
chat.
that? We've got the chat here.
Yeah.
Help us out, guys. Trover Saves the Universe or Phantom Covert Ops? What would you say should be the Oculus Quest Game of the Month for June? Because I'm torn. I really am.
I kind of feel like the chat's peeking over my shoulder, and they're like looking at me, making, "Hey, you better pick this." Um, I don't know. My initial, I mean, what I would have to say is, like I said, I'm aware of recency bias and everything, but I would say overall, I don't know. I think for the Quest, I probably have to lean more towards Trover for me for as far as for the month for Quest, but that's just me.
Yeah, see, because that's the way I'm leaning too. Because one, Trover, they're both some of the best VR games. Period. Right? They're both on that level of great, AAA level experiences. But we have to factor in the fact that, like I just said, Phantom Covert Ops and the Quest version versus the PC version, at least visually, is a different thing. Whereas with Trover Saves the Universe,
It's one to
it's
one.
really not. It's one to one pretty much. It's a pretty much perfect port. Not only that, but you have to factor in the fact that Phantom Covert Ops is much shorter than Trover Saves the Universe. I mean, I'd say Trover is at least what, twice as long as
Yeah,
Phantom Covert Ops.
maybe even more with the DLC and stuff. Plus, it's got Rick and Morty voices and stuff. I mean, who doesn't
Yeah.
want Rick and Morty? Although the other one has David Hayter, so.
Yeah, Mainfin says Trover is a seated gamepad style. Phantom Covert Ops is seated, move your arms and aim. Trover, I think it's unanimous, man. I think we got to give this one to Trover, right?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so let's mark it down here.
And it's definitely close runner up by for the honorable mention for
Yep,
the
right. So I think that, yeah, we do need to mark it as an honorable mention because for those of you who don't know, at the end of the year, we do a year end show where instead of having our games of the month, we give out awards for games of the year. And the way we narrow it down is by what we do during these, game of the month shows. So we always bring our winners into the conversation, but we also bring our honorable mentions, our runners up. So if we feel like something deserves an honorable mention, it will be in the conversation at the end of the year. And at that point, there won't be any recency bias, right? I will have hopefully finished both of these games by then and have a more complete view of what I think about it. So even though Phantom Covert Ops didn't win Quest Game of the Month this month, it's still, possible that we could pick it for Game of the Year.
yeah, and it's longevity too goes into that the game of the year as well. Like it came out. It's still up to that level by the time the game of the year, right?
Okay. Mamefan says he was correcting a typo. He wasn't actually choosing Trover.
Uh,
He'd probably choose Phantom Covert Ops. Well,
I guess that makes sense from what his comment was. Basically, one's a sit with your controller. Although you have your controller tracked, main fan, if you're using the touch controllers. So
well, he says because it's more VR and more immersive, and I will give it that. Phantom Covert Ops is one of the most immersive games I've ever played. Like the combination of the lighting and the sound and the 3D effect, you don't see that very often in VR. And I don't lightly pick Trover over it. I think that highly of Trover as a platformer and as a comedic video game.
I forgot that you said this yesterday. Main fan played through. I still need to watch that video in 2 sittings, right? You said he streamed it, so
Yeah, he said
you must have
yeah,
really
he
liked
said,
it, main fan.
yeah, he played through it, but he played through it in like 4 hours.
Wow. Well, it
Yeah,
is main fan, the finisher. So
yeah, it's taken me, 45 minutes to an hour per chapter in this thing. So obviously I'm going a lot slower than this dude is.
yeah.
Anyway, Roots and I say Trover. Main fan says Phantom Covert Ops. We're marking them both. But I think I've got to be honest. And if I'm being honest, I think Trover inches it out in this case.
Yeah.
But with that being said, only because we're talking about the Oculus Quest version. Now we're going to move on to PC VR. And again, just like Oculus Quest, I thought it would be a no-brainer coming into PC VR. But again, as much competition as there was with Oculus Quest, just as much competition on PC VR this month.
Yeah, it was really good. For sure.
Delirium Drew says, I think PCO is getting shit on because it's a 3-hour campaign. But there are great FPS campaigns on flat screen that are only 5 to 6 hours. Hey man, Resident Evil 3 remake is 4 hours long. 4 hours. And with that said, I've already got over 3 hours in Phantom Covert Ops, and I'm not even close to done with it yet. So
Yeah. And you can buy it on, isn't it on sale right now?
I think everything in the world's on sale right now.
Oh, that's right. Everything is on sale. Yeah.
Anyway, let's start this conversation with PC VR. I forgot Roots. I forgot that Phantom Covert Ops wasn't the only great triple. Well, I use the word triple A a lot. They're obviously these games are mostly from independent developers. When I use the term triple A, I'm using it as a description of quality, of a high quality game. And I feel like the Wizards Dark Times was pretty close to a AAA experience. Am I wrong here?
No, it's funny. My nephew came over the other day and for Father's Day with my daughters, and I put him into this game, and he's 10, and he played it for like maybe 20-30 minutes and a bunch of other games. And then I saw him again yesterday, and this was the game he was talking about. I want to go into that Wizard game again. So it got his attention. I really had a good time. It was really cool, and I want to play it some more.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's fun. They did. Uh, I didn't talk about. I don't remember. Maybe I did talk about some of the bugs I encountered. There weren't many. There were a couple of bugs I encountered when I played this game, but they were just patched out last week.
Oh, nice.
So,
Did you become a true battle mage?
dude, I walked into that game as a true battle mage. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude. Oh, this is a really good game. The graphics were stunning, and like we were saying when it came out, what was that other game that came out that was like this that we liked? But I was like raving about how the movement felt and everything. I mean, everything about this game felt good. Moving, climbing, the spells. It just was really good, and I
Yeah,
need to get back into it.
really addictive, intuitive gameplay, and again, the production quality is top notch as well. A fun game, and I haven't beat it yet, and I put some pretty good time into it. So,
Did you see the
uh,
ogre? Did you meet the ogre?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. They're one of the coolest parts of the game involves that ogre.
Oh, okay. Oh, I gotta check it out.
Keep going, dude. I mean, it's wait till you see where that dude lives. You're gonna dig it.
Now I gotta see it. Mepper says, "Hey, he just came in. He was running a
Hey,
little late."
hey, that's why we have the replay, bro. It's all good.
Yeah, who was it? Radio Runt said he hasn't finished the last show from yesterday.
Shit, man. Who
So
can blame him? What we almost did 3 hours yesterday.
yeah, that was a long one. So
Yeah, for sure. You know who loves long ones, Roots?
oh, she doesn't love it because I didn't do the
Oh
my I
no.
forgot to do the my mom check.
Well, everybody knew anyway. They all heard it, even though it didn't actually
Here,
go
I'll
off.
let her pop up.
All right. Anyway, The Wizard's Dark Times from Carbon Studio, June 4th, $25. Absolutely one of the best games this month.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, then came Dreamback VR from Come Over Gaming, June 10th, 2020, $25. Um, an exercise in atmosphere, right?
Yeah, yeah. This was definitely really creepy for sure. You played a lot further into this, I think, uh,
Yeah, a
than
little
I
bit,
did.
a little bit. I'm kind of discouraged about it because uh, the there were some things about it that weren't very intuitive. One of those things was the save system. So I'm kind of afraid to go back in it because I just know I didn't save my game. I'm gonna have to start over.
Oh yeah, I would think so. But you know who else loves to start over?
My mom!
I just fixed it. Okay. Oh, it feels good. All right.
Mamefan says he saw his mom today. It's her 74th birthday, and that
Oh,
still likes the long one. So
oh,
that's
and
awesome, dude.
who doesn't? Tell her happy birthday. You know,
Yeah, happy birthday.
speaking of this is a completely side story, but when I was a kid, we found this. We had this babysitter over. We found this huge rubber dildo, and I don't even know where we found it, out in the street or something. And we took it to this after we played around with it forever till our babysitter freaked out. We took it and we went to this old lady's house and we put it on the doorstep and rang the doorbell and ran and hid. And she came out and she saw it and she looked around to make sure nobody saw, and she took it and went inside. And I don't know where that story came from, but you're welcome. So
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, that just goes to show you, folks, don't just throw out your old sex toys. There are always somebody out there. There's a good home for it.
yeah,
You just have to find the right doorstep to live
yeah,
on.
we found it. So
It's funny that you say that because it was only maybe 2 or 3 days ago on Twitter. Uh, One of the people I follow had put some pictures up. He walked out in his yard, and sure enough, just a big old floppy dildo right
yeah,
out in the middle of the yard. And he's
they're
like,
out.
"How the hell did this get here?"
They're out there, man. They're just floating, dude. For some little 10-year-old kid to find it.
They're naturally occurring. They just grow.
Yeah, it was. Now that I look back, I don't think I would have touched it, but I was a kid. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So
Uh, all right, let's move on. Dreamback VR. I felt like it deserved an honorable mention. It's a solid game. At least it seems so far. I do need to give it some more time, but it's certainly one of the better games that released in June.
yeah, Yeah, absolutely. And I'm rethinking my my verbiage. I should have been a little bit more family oriented.
Sometimes, sometimes the real world comes out, right?
Yeah, true.
All right. Then came Renlo from Gura Shop, June 23rd, just this past week, released into early access. $15, Roots, and it's actually on sale right now for like 12.
Oh wow, that's a good deal. You know, I don't know. Everything I played through so far has been worth $15, and we haven't even finished it. So, I'd like to know where the story goes. Very polished, and even with these ones that they've released it with, that's not finished, right? They're still releasing more levels. Maybe, I mean, I don't know if it's exactly double what's out there now, but that's what I hope. So,
Right. Yeah. I think there's quite a bit more coming for this game. And yeah, it's a good exercise in storytelling. Um, the puzzles are pretty cool. It honestly, it reminds me of Wayward Sky. If any of you all have ever played Wayward Sky, it's that same type of platforming, and then you kind of zoom into a puzzle for a minute, and then you do a little more platforming. Only the storytelling is way better, and the production values are way better.
yeah, it was really good. Although, like I said, they need to get rid of that scruffy voice for the guy driving the boat.
We all can't be David Hayter, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's very true.
All right, and speaking of David Hayter, of course, that brings us again to Phantom Covert Ops from In Dreams on June 25th, $30. Yeah, I think we've already kind of said it all. Only I will add this: we are now talking about the PC VR version of it, and that's a different thing than the Quest version. And all of that immersiveness, all of that high quality and production value, uh, most of that we're talking about coming from PC VR. So yeah, so I kind of I want to point that out. This is a different thing than the PCO we were talking about a moment ago.
Yeah, this is Scion said this is kayak pew pew, right? Isn't that what he calls it?
Kayak pew pew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. This is the PC version, totally different ball game, and in my opinion, between the four there, this is hands down the best of the game. I mean, it would be hard pressed against a lot of games. Would definitely be the game of the month for sure.
Now, I actually think it's fairly close. I feel that highly about the Wizards' Dark Times. I think the Wizards is a great game. But I got to agree. I got to agree that Phantom Covert Ops, PC VR game of the month. And, something I forgot to mention about it yesterday, as much as we said, I did leave something out. How about that sniper rifle, man? Have you ever used a more stable sniper rifle in VR than that one?
No, it's really good. Actually, everything, all the guns work really well. Um, I don't know. I think they nailed it with it. Just everything, the movement, especially in the kayak. Uh, it's just different. It's cool.
All right, so I'm going to put it to the chat now. Roots and I seem to think that Phantom Covert Ops is not only one of the best VR games of the month for PC, it's also one of the best VR games of the year so far. If any of you disagree and you think maybe the Wizards or Renlo deserves the call, now is the time to make your feelings known. So, what do you think, Rich? You think the Wizards is deserving of honorable mention, or do you think that it's just cut and dry, Phantom Covert Ops, no question?
I think the Wizards is. I was going to joke and say garbage, but it's not garbage. No, it is definitely. I agree. If I had to say, if it was, right on the tail, if Phantom Covert Ops had just waited a few, maybe a week and came out, I mean, it would definitely, Wizards would be hands down the game of the month, and it's really polished, really good. They nailed it. So
all right, so I think that we are once again in agreement that Phantom Covert Ops is the PC VR game of the month, and that the Wizards Dark Times does indeed deserve honorable mention because it is one of the better games this year.
I think you'll like Wizards, Mamefan. It's really good.
Yeah, Renlo's good too, but of the two, the Wizards Dark Times, it's just one of those things that's just fun to play. The gesture-based magic is really easy to pick up, and the environments are beautiful. Everything production wise is really beautiful.
Let me ask
It,
you.
it ki-
Oh, I was going to ask you your the bow. Did you ever have problems? I have problems getting the bow out, but that's just me. I don't know. Um,
I didn't for the most part. During the last level that I played, I began to have trouble because there's another bit of magic that you pick up that has a similar gesture.
hmm.
And now when I'm trying to pull my bow out, and I never had trouble at all before, now it's doing this other thing. So uh, maybe they've tightened that up since I've played it, but I did notice that during my very last playthrough that it took me a few tries to get my bow out when I needed it.
Yeah, Ray says Mamefan has Renlo has a demo, but he should be able to play one of our copies as well if he wants to play the
Yeah.
full version.
Yeah, it's unlocked. I checked it. It is unlocked. So
Okay, cool.
yeah, absolutely available. Both of those games available for main fan anytime he wants to jump in and check it out.
Wow, there's
All right.
Radio Runt finally chiming in. What's up,
He
bud?
says the demo is kind of boring. It is a little bit slow paced. I think the story carries it, but like I said when we talked about the demo, I feel like it's a good start to a game, right? It's not like the Iron Man demo or anything where you're like having a blast the whole time. It's a start. It's enough to kind of hook somebody, right?
Yeah.
I thought so anyway. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up. PSVR, or I'm sorry, PCVR game of the month, Phantom Covert Ops with the Wizard's Dark Times as an honorable mention. Oculus Quest, Trover Saves the Universe with Phantom Covert Ops as an honorable mention. And PSVR, oh boy.
Yeah, it was definitely a rough month for. I mean, I don't know. Maybe like again, let us know if you think one of these games, if Good Dog or Let's Create Some Pottery Ghost Style was just amazing. Then let us know because I didn't. The only one I really heard something about was Coaster, but I didn't hear anything much about it, and that was I don't know. It just shows you what. Yeah.
If I had to pick one, I would pick Pancake House. That game still kind of looks fun to me. I'm just taking Brian Paul's word for it not being any good.
Yeah.
I do know that it's not worth the damn $30 that they put on it. That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I mean, maybe I'll tell you what. If I ever do play this game, if I think it's any good whatsoever, if I enjoy it at all, I'll come back here and amend these results and add it in for the game of the month.
Spry Guy and actually several people have said that the Renlo demo does not seem to be out there anymore, so you cannot demo it.
It's coming to Viveport Infinity soon for those of you who subscribe to that. So I wouldn't be too concerned with that demo. The demo isn't the best thing in the world anyway. It's kind of slow. In the game, it expands from that demo. Even the levels that are in the demo are better in the full version because they add more stuff into them.
True.
All right. So that's going to bring us out of our Game of the Month discussion and into our July VR preview. As is the case normally, we don't have much to go on next month. We don't know a lot about what we're going to get in the next month, but as anybody who pays attention knows, with VR, that doesn't mean jack. There's going to be games drop in July. There's going to be huge, awesome games that come in July that we have no idea right now that we're getting. So yeah, let's start with PSVR because I do feel like we kind of shit on them a little bit to start the show. Not that it wasn't deserving, but what was a weak June for PSVR, they're going to bounce back hard in July because on July 3rd, Marvel's Iron Man VR is finally going to be released. And Roots, I feel like this is the hands down. Well, I don't know, man. I was about to say this is the hands down favorite for Game of the Year, but The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is pretty damn good.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you going to play through this game in one sitting? And my second question is for Mamefan. Is he going to strap on the PlayStation VR and play through this campaign?
Yeah, I don't know. I would imagine so, right? You're gonna play this one, right? I know he enjoyed the demo, so I would imagine that he's probably gonna check it out.
Yeah. Okay.
But I definitely am. I went in this week, and finally they put it back up for pre-order. You know, it was up for pre-order forever ago. Then they refunded it, and then when they announced the new release date for it, they didn't put it back up for pre-order until just like a week ago.
Did you had
So
do have it pre-ordered? You said.
yep, bought and paid for. I'm just waiting for it to download now.
Okay. Well, Phil Yarn says don't forget about Crisis VR Brigade. We forgot about it coming out. 2, the sequel.
Crisis Brigade 2. Was that this month?
Came out June 9th, I believe.
Oh, you're right, man. I did forget about Crisis Brigade 2.
Yeah.
Probably because it's not really full release, right? Yeah, it is $40, Mamefan. Iron Man VR is $40. There's a digital deluxe version that's $50.
Oh God.
That gives you some skins, and it gives you 12 research points to start the game off with. And I thought about doing that, but it kind of feels like cheating to me, buying up like character upgrades for the story. I think I'd be more happy just earning them through gameplay.
Where's my unicorn backpack, dude? Like if you're gonna charge me $40 or $50.
So what do you think, Roots? You know, Phil Yarn has a good point. Crisis Brigade 2 was a really good game.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think that it unseats Phantom Covert Ops.
But it would have been a shame to not mention it. And what an amazing game that game is. I think Phil Yarn just saved the day. You just saved us from a comment in the thing that we'd have to, right. I'm sorry. It'd be an I'm sorry bit at the end of the year. We would have been apologizing because it's worth, the camera's over there, Roots. It's worth it for sure. That's a really good game.
We would have lost all credibility on Reddit, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. People would have been downvoting us now. Anakazi says he's debating the digital deluxe for Iron Man or not, so he hasn't pre-ordered.
Well, here's the thing: it isn't
$10.
Just.
It's not that much.
No, it isn't. It isn't just cosmetic stuff. You know, normally when they do these digital deluxe versions, it's only skins and things like that don't affect the game. Not the case here. They give you 12 research points, and what the research points do is allow you to upgrade your armor and have new abilities. So basically, you're going to be starting off the game with equipment that you would have gotten after playing a level or two, right?
Right. Cooler weapons.
Again, right. Which again feels to me like cheating. So I chose against it, but I don't begrudge anyone who wants to go that route.
You could still get it and not use it, or can you give them away to a friend? Give them away to somebody that doesn't care about cheating?
I don't think so.
Yeah, bummer.
Anyway, they're up for pre-order now. I bought my copy. Everyone else, I suggest, should do the same because it does save you some time. It'll download before the game releases, and then when it releases, you can just play it.
Yeah, I'm debating. I might, Wes, just to sweeten the pot for my new roommate, I might just buy the game, and then that way he has to let me play it, right? So.
Hey, dude, the day he comes, you should go over and play that demo. It'll let you know what you're in for sure.
It's true. Sounds good.
Anyway, that's not all. It's coming for PlayStation VR this month. Roots Pistol Whip is coming on July 28th, and we've said it many times. I feel like Pistol Whip. It seems like a PlayStation VR game, right? It seems like it's well suited to mask the deficiency of the PSVR hardware.
I think people are going to be loving this game in PlayStation VR, and it should translate very well, right? Because the graphics aren't that, graphically intense, so you should be able to have a 1-to-1 translation, right? There's no little particles everywhere. So.
Absolutely, I feel like it'll be somewhere in between the Quest version and the PC version. Really, the only difference between those two is the PC version has a cleaner picture. The Quest version a little more shimmery with the aliasing, and I feel like you're going to get some of that on PSVR as well, but not nearly as much as the Quest. So That said, I feel like the tracking volume of the PlayStation Move system with the single camera is more than enough for the what you need for pistol whip, right? As long as you can duck a little bit, move left, move right a little bit, you don't have to turn around ever. So again, just kind of tailor made for PSVR.
I turn around though sometimes just to see or try to shoot things that I've passed, but you don't have to. But
Yeah, Onikazi says, I tend not to use perks. I just have a nagging feeling that I don't have the full game. It's something I need to get over. Yeah, I get you, bud.
it,
No, there's a lot. As far as these digital deluxe versions go, there's a lot here. This one's not, you're getting something for your $10. There's a lot of stuff in it.
it's only $10, but I have the same problem. Like say with Alien Isolation when I bought it, or games like that, I had to buy the DLC, even though I doubted that I was going to play through the entire game to begin with. But I need to have the full game. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell is that, man? Otakazi, I got your same problem, man. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. It's kind of hard when you love. It's really just the VR enthusiast curse, right? Anything that you don't buy, you're just constantly wanting to buy, right?
yeah, yeah, I got to own it all.
That's me. I want to have all of it. So that's what I was kind of joking around on the Discord today because somebody posted this big laundry list of games that they're buying on the Steam sale. And I know how many times I've done that. And what happens is I buy all these games and I don't even install them. I just have them in my library and my backlog grows.
Yeah,
And I was kind of joking about that.
yeah, I still do that. I still buy tons of games, but it depends. I mean, I like to own them if they're good. So
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good list too, man. He had Operation Warcade and all kinds of good stuff on there. The only thing that I didn't see on that list that I felt like maybe should have been there was To the Top, but he probably already has To the Top. That's probably why it wasn't on there.
yeah, true.
$5, dude. $5 for To the Top.
That's
I
a good
still
deal.
can't get over that.
Yeah, Mepper says only thing out for VR is tech demos, and Radio
Yeah,
Runt
right.
says VR is dead as nails. But yeah, so that we were just joking in the chat there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that it's kind of comical that anybody. It shows how butthurt we were over VR is dead that people still talk about it on a daily basis, right?
Yeah, true.
It's not even like a conversation anymore. VR is clearly growing, and it is growing at an exponential pace. So,
Yeah, in all the areas, whether it's movie watching or these venues, the games, experiences, all the way around. So
yeah, everything. Hollywood's embracing it. The music industry's embracing it. It's like the video game industry's the last to jump in, right?
yeah, Rift S is dead as well. You know, my roommate that's moving out, the not so good one, was telling me about Last of Us 2. He's been playing through it, and he said it's awesome. He said it's amazing. My son was saying the gameplay is amazing. He's really digging it as well. Both saying it's phenomenal. Both played through the first one. So I don't know. Maybe you should give it a check.
I watched the full playthrough of it.
Oh, you've already ruined it.
Well, no, listen. I'll concur with a lot of what he's saying there. From a gameplay perspective, it's amazing. The environments and like the production values, and I mean, I've never seen a game that looks this good. It's beautiful. It's the perfect post-apocalyptic setting. I've never seen a better, more well realized one. It's just the structure of the game is what I don't like, and I'm sure I would enjoy playing the game, especially the first half. And as far as like the leaks and the things that everyone assumed from the leaks, myself included, that stuff wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be. Like there is something to say about context with that stuff, and it wasn't as bad. With that said, they still broke the game up, and they wanted to try try to build some sympathy for the villains in the game,
Mm.
and the way they should have done it was by changing perspective back and forth throughout the game, but that's not what they did. They basically put you with the good guys for a long time, and then they put you with the bad guys for a long time, and I felt like that it was a little bit too much, and I feel like if I had played it blind, not knowing what was going to happen, I would have been so angry. I would have been so angry.
Mm.
So I'm glad I didn't buy it. I'll play it. I'll play it when it's free on PlayStation Plus on PS5. I'll play it.
Yeah, because
But
by then
I'm not,
you'll have forgotten a lot of it, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, it looks like it's fun to play. Honestly, it does.
Okay.
Uh, but $60, no, I'm not gonna pay for what they did.
Yeah.
They did a few things that upset me, and uh, I'm not going to give it legitimacy by giving them my money.
Let me ask you
So,
this: do you think they're gonna pay for what they did in
dude,
sales?
they've already sold uh, well over 4 million copies of it.
Oh,
It's the
Jesus!
fastest.
Holy
It's the
crap!
fastest. It's the fastest selling
Wow.
PlayStation game ever.
Yeah, so their gamble was correct then. It's like, yeah.
Well, a lot of that was pre-orders, though. Let's be honest. A lot of it was pre-orders. People who didn't know.
Hmm.
Really, what's the proof is going to be what happens the next time they put a game out.
Yeah.
What's going to happen the next time Naughty Dog puts a Last of Us game out? What are people going to do then?
Yeah, it's true.
If they're smart, they'll do an Uncharted game next, and they won't do Last of Us Part 3.
Okay, so we have a conundrum in the chat. Radio Runt wants to know if he's wondering if he should still pick up Red Matter or not. Now, keep in mind that he's played through all these AAA titles. He's played through so many good games, just like us. Would he still find Red Matter to be as good of a game as, say, we found it when it came out? And what's the sale on it? I'm assuming it's on sale right now. Like you said, everything's on sale, right?
Yeah, I would say that if you like puzzle adventures, that you should definitely pick up Red Matter, because I feel like Red Matter still to this day is one of the best looking games in VR. Like production wise, it's a beautiful game.
It was really fun to play, and the way the movement was really cool, right? The teleporting that made you feel like you were moving from space to space through in a spacesuit. So
Yeah, Red Matter is it's one of the best games in VR, regardless of platform. So if you like that type of game, absolutely, it still holds up.
there you go. Although I think Scion said what's that other game? Downward Spiral. He likes that one a little bit better for whatever reason. And I some aspects of it I did as well, as like the gun shooting and stuff. But I think Red Matter had such amazing environments and really did have a good atmosphere and presence. So I would say I would recommend it.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so let's move on. PSVR, obviously a good month coming up with Iron Man VR and Pistol Whip.
Oh,
Oculus Quest has a good month coming up as well, and they're going to start off on the 2nd with Shooty Skies Overdrive. And Roots, I thought about talking about this game on the Sunday show a couple of times because it's getting some pretty big press play. A couple of the big streamers have gotten keys for it. All of the news sites are promoting it, but it looks just okay to me. It looks like an all right, fun arcade style shooter.
it looks like it could be a game we're making fun of on Viveport, to be honest. And I don't know if this is real gameplay or what it looks like, but it's just another wave shooter type of thing. Now, Radio Run just blew my mind. He said he's never played a puzzle game in VR yet.
What?
And I'm like, there's so
What?
many of them, dude.
How do you not?
Like even just a Fisherman's Tale. That's such an amazing, which you haven't played, of course, but you've played so many others. But is an amazing puzzle game, and it does with scale, and it's I don't know. You just blew my mind, Radio Runt. You did it.
Yeah, man. Static, so good.
Yeah, dude. I never got to play Static. I bought it and on a sale for PlayStation VR. Never played it, but my new roommate said it was amazing. He really liked it. So
Yeah, it's very good. It's very immersive. Uh, one of the best implementations of gamepad controls in a VR game that I've ever seen.
yeah, Fisherman's Tales on Viveport. Pick it up. Radio Run. You got to do some puzzles for sure. And Ray Pope says abduction, and I agree.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I do as well. There's so many good ones, right?
yeah, yeah. But to get back on track, Shooty Skies, I would say no to me. I just I don't know. Maybe if I tried it for free, I mean, looks like it could be fun a little bit, but
Yeah, well, that's my thing. It looks okay, right? It looks like it's got a fun gameplay loop. It looks like there's some retro nostalgia going on here. So it looks like it would be good for a couple of playthroughs, but I don't know if it's necessarily going to deserve all of the attention that it's been getting.
yeah, I
But
don't.
who knows? I haven't played it, so maybe it's the best game ever.
Yeah, yeah, maybe it is.
You,
Maybe this is the
you,
go-to game. This will be the game of the year for all we know.
you know what the gameplay looks like to me?
Hmm.
It looks like Space Cats with lasers.
Yeah, but Space Cats with lasers was cool because you were a cat and you were shooting rats. That was really actually I really like that game, man. It was good for a wave shooter type of game. It was good, really
Well, then
graphically
you
good.
might like this because I think this actually looks like it's got a little more going on than that game, and
Hmm.
it looks like very similar gameplay. So
Yeah,
I,
maybe.
I think the price is what's really going to sell me or not on this. If this is like a $10 game or less, then maybe. I think if it costs any more than that, then that might be pushing it.
Yeah, send us a key and I'll try it. Form is on Viveport Infinity. Radio Runt's downloading it now. Form will officially be Radio Runt's first puzzle game.
That's a good one to start
Assuming.
on. It's not very long. You don't get stuck for very often in it. So that's a good one to start on. So
Well,
yeah,
I was gonna say Onakazi says this is the same developer that did Endless Frogger on iOS games. He's blanking on the name of it, but same developer. So
cool.
yeah,
And he also says it is $9.99. Okay, all right. So I get it now. That makes sense.
well, look at that chainsaw, man. She keeps
I know,
whipping.
right? I
Yeah,
know.
it
It
could be
looks like it
cool.
could get nuts, right? It looks
Yeah.
like it could get kind of nuts.
It looks like could be a game that we were meant to go into Viveport Infinity and make fun of, and then come out talking about how fun it is.
Right,
Right?
like Space Cats with lasers,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
All right. And I know the chat have said it a trillion times already, so I would like for you all to know that on Oculus Quest, July 16th, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted is finally coming. The game that we've all been waiting for, the game that we can't wait to get our hands on, finally coming to Oculus Quest Roots. It's a dream come true.
Yeah, are you buying it? You're gonna have to, right?
Sadly, honestly, I probably will.
Yeah, you have to. But okay, so there's two questions to that. How excited is your son? And then two, are you gonna check it out? Because you've never checked out this game yet, right?
No, I mean, not really. Not. I haven't given it a fair shot. No. Um,
I haven't either. I think we should at some point. You know, like I've gone in
I
and checked it out a little bit, but I haven't really gone in and given it a fair shot.
well, I got an idea. When we do Into the Radius here in a few weeks, I was going to have that kind of be the initial another look segment that we've talked about a few times, where we go back and check out games that we've talked about before and seen if we have any different opinions on them. But I've been trying to think what would be a good second game to go with Into the Radius there. Maybe Five Nights at Freddy's would be that game.
Yeah, I would agree.
All
Yeah.
right, so that makes sense then. Well, we will do that. Look for that in 2 to 3 weeks. Whenever Into the Radius comes into full release, we'll do that episode. The game I'm really looking forward to the most for Oculus Quest in June Roots, In Death Unchained. I think this game looks awesome. I think being untethered is going to add something to it. And I think that graphically it turned out a lot better than I would have even expected.
Wow. Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be like you said. It's not only. I mean, it could be a different take on it. Goes. You know.
Okay, well, I will definitely be sending out review requests probably for all of these games, honestly. I generally take a day every week and just spend a day doing emails, you know.
Yeah.
So probably we'll give it a shot, and if I don't end up getting a key for it, then I'll probably at least the Five Nights at Freddy's I'll buy, maybe even buy In Death as well. I don't know.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, PCVR a little thinner. We don't really know a whole lot about what's coming out on PCVR this month. I did find a couple though, Roots. Hospitality we were talking about the other day. The creepy hospital where you're in a wheelchair. Uh, that game actually comes out. It's like the 20th or something like that, July, and I'm intrigued, Roots. It had a nice environment going on. There is a free demo available for it, but it's very short. It doesn't show you much, and I wouldn't really even call it playable. It's more of a you just kind of sit there and let things happen around you.
Yeah. So it's not there anymore, right? That was only there for the festival.
It,
Or
it's still there.
oh, okay. Are you gonna play through it again? No, I'm just kidding.
And
You just
maybe
said that there's not much to it. And you're like, yeah, I don't think so.
I'll tell you what, though, the hospitality demo is still there. The Paper Beast demo is still there. As we said earlier, there's a premium bowling demo on there that you can download right now. And I found out when I was doing research for this segment that the Jenny and Taco game, remember that
Yeah.
there's a demo for that. I had no idea.
Hmm.
Uh, there's no release date, no idea when that game's coming, but there is a demo available for download on Steam right now.
When are we gonna get Ven? I want Ven.
You'd think so soon, man. They're still putting out stuff like every day. They're putting out new artwork, new animations, showing us the enemies, showing us the levels. Man, that thing looks polished. I mean, it looks like it might rival Astrobot, and I hesitate to say that because Astrobot's one of the best games, period, in VR. But man, it looks good. It looks very polished.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think Astrobot would be better than looking if it was on PC versus PlayStation VR?
I don't know, man. I don't know how that game could look better. It's beautiful. It's
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
yeah, that's true.
Anyway, Hospitality VR coming out in July, and there was one more game that we do know is coming in July, and that is Vertigo Remastered. And I am legitimately excited for this one because I've never played Vertigo. I never really even gave it a second thought until Vertigo 2 demo released, and I saw what kind of weirdness is going on inside this dude's head. And I think he's got the same kind of damage I do because this looks awesome, dude.
The graphics look so good in this remastered version too. Every time I look at it, like you said, I really want to play this game. I can't wait for the second one, but I really wasn't interested in the first one until now. Now I really want to play it. So.
Well, there you go. Coming this month, anyone who has Vertigo already will get this free of charge, and those dopes that don't are going to have to buy it.
Yeah, it's expensive, right? I thought it was
I don't
expensive.
know. Yeah, it was like 20 or 30 bucks for it.
Yeah, I thought it was 30. I said this last time, but what is it now before it comes out? Isn't it cheaper?
Oh, it is the Steam sale, right?
Yeah.
It is the Steam sale.
Let me see if
Let's
it's
check it out.
in real time.
This might be the time to pick up Vertigo, right?
I don't think you can. Oh, we found this out last time. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. We did. We looked it up. You can't buy it
Well,
anymore.
son of a bitch. I want to buy it. I want to go back in time and buy it for cheap and not have to pay the expensive. I'm one of the suckers, dude. Well,
I'm sure it's in our library, dude. I'm sure one of those other dudes have it.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, that's it. That's all we know coming in July. That doesn't mean there isn't going to be more. In fact, I would bet money that there is going to be another great game come out, at least one more in July for PC, probably more than that. But as usual, we won't know until it gets here, and in exactly 1 month's time, we'll all meet back up here and talk about which ones were the best.
Yeah, Mamefan says he does own a Vertigo, so we should have access to it when it does drop, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We just have to make sure we play one at a time, or after we boot the game, we go offline so that we can all play at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is what I do. Anytime I do a game share during the daytime hours, I always just pull my internet cable out of the back of the thing after I boot the game.
It depends for me, because I know when Alex and Mamefan play their games, especially like Alex, like if it's like midnight my time, I'm like, or 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. I'm like, he's sleeping. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm the same way. I don't want. I mean, I know they can kick you off, or you can kick the person off at any time just by logging into a game. I just don't want to be that guy that's taking up someone's library when they want to go use it. So
Exactly. That's exactly why I do it too. I just don't want to step on anybody else's toes, and beyond that, I don't want to get kicked off of the game while I'm playing it. So
yeah,
win-win, right?
yeah, that's true.
Hussein X says it should be free for both of us, as we are both higher dimension entities. Well, that is true, and there's a lot of perks that do come with being higher dimensional entities, but unfortunately, free Vertigo Remastered is not one of those.
Yeah, unfortunately, maybe it will be. Maybe they'll send us a key.
Delirium Drew says he has to go. Take care. You know what, Drew? I think we have to go too, right, Roots?
Yeah.
It's I think we've pretty much wrapped it up here. We've pretty much covered it. A hell of a month June was for VR. It looks like July has the potential to be even better. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, for those of you new to the channel, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and clicking the notification bell. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and join our Discord. We have an invitation down in the description below. We're on there all day, every day. Join the community, join the conversation.
Yep.
And with that said, friends, we would like to thank you once again for watching. And for Roots, I'm Wes.